Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, I've just been and fetched a bag of leaves. It's 7 o'clock on Saturday the 2nd of November. When I realised what I'd said before about not having so many leaves in a bag because they were so light, it's because they haven't been rained on. A couple of years ago the weather was so bad, the wind blew, heat them up, but they got very wet as well. So even though I said it wasn't a proper sackful, it probably is because we haven't got the moisture. And of course, having the old leaf grabbers makes the job so much easier. And I've got a big wide rake as well, but of course this gentleman keeps blowing the leaves into a pile, so I feel obliged to go and fetch them. So it's about 7 o'clock, it's about 7:15 now, and I want to just show you what you can probably do in a couple of hours on your allotments if you put your mind to it. A lot of it's ad hoc, one job leads to another, but let's give it a go. And let's start off with some of the beds that just need a bit of work, and a lot of it will be pause and record. Don't want to waste your precious time. So on the far side, this bed here, this was the bed that had the giant celery in it. It was mulched with all sorts. This bed here has had its bottom layer of manure. That's from a stables that's had, it got the shavings in, thick clumps of hay. I've buried that deep down. Hopefully that won't affect anything I do. But this material that was on top of the beds, it's all homemade, and I topped it up with some leaf mould, cocoa coir. The worms just do a cracking job. But what I do, I don't dig, I scrape, because I do need to get a layer of manure in the bottom for the giant veg. I've got a little issue with the plastic pulling off a little bit there, so I'll get the staple gun and do that. But, we'll crack on with that. We'll get a layer of manure in, and then we'll put the material back, and that'll be another one done. I might top that one up where the shovel is with some of the leaves. Manure with lots of worms, and because I've got plenty of it, some of the black liquid manure. This is the runoff that would, if you've got a pile of manure, this is what you would end up losing in the ground by your manure heap. I'll just collect it in the bottom of an IBC. That's some of the compost we salvaged out of the beds that we removed. And we'll just level this off, and then I'll add some of the material that we took off from here just to top it up. But this, again, this was out one of the beds. And as I run out of bagged up material that we've salvaged, I can start mixing my own again. This will just keep those worms interested. They'll pull some of that down, and then we can just clear the bed, remove any leaves, pop them back into the compost bin. Putting the cardboard on, just protect it from the weather so we don't lose all those nutrients with the winter autumn weather. Hides the worms from the birds so they can do us a great job, and in the end that cardboard will rot down either there or in the compost bin when we've done. I'll do the same to this bed while I'm in the mood. We've got some 2-year-old leaf mould for this one. Some of the sticks that haven't broken down, they'll go back in the compost bin. But that's just after 2 years. You can see now why I stopped using my leaf mould after 12 months. You can use it before, but I don't, not now. What we got here? I can go in the paths. My big feet will tread that down. But you do find a bit of rubbish within your leaf mould because litter when you pick the leaves up. But this won't blow away like the other, but obviously there's loads and loads of seeds in it, but they are easy to pick out. And these beds will sink until I go completely no dig. But as you know, I keep changing my mind, moving beds, just so it makes it easy for myself. Right, we're going to do something different now. I'm getting fed up of doing that job. The only way you can keep motivated is by doing different things when you arrive at your allotment. No good digging all day, do something else. So let's move to the wildflower garden. Let's get those bags of manure moved. It just gets a little bit messy. I haven't got to do a great deal. I had the sunflower stalks last year, some of the asparagus. So yeah, it's just a bit of a dumping ground, but it doesn't just don't take much tidying up. I like to get this done just before the winter too, as such, because there will be animals that will try and get into these areas. We don't want to disturb them too much. Just odd bits. It's surprising how the creatures get stuck into it. Right. Oh, sorry, Mr. Hedgehog. Some more little animals down here. People drove them away, and I'll pick them up. Right, I'm going to weed that area now. I'm going to pause and record. Not much to do. It's now 10 to 8. I'm just almost 1 hour in. I'm just going to get a little bit of unscrupulously dumped compost now to cover those weeds up and the flower seeds that are sprouting. This is what we find dumped unscrupulously by the cannabis growers, if you're lucky. Not a very good grow again. Some of it is just cocoa coir, but this find we did have some with the added perlite compost or whatever they used, but it doesn't matter, it's free. I put a couple of fish in there all those years ago and they're still alive and flapping, but this is a nice little area to look at now over the winter months, and hopefully anybody that visits will enjoy their stay. all these items, except for the wheel, were finds, either from home or what people put outside their properties. Just adds interest. I can't bear to throw stuff away when it still has a purpose. Another job that's been bugging me is getting these weeds out. I can start heaping this soil up a bit higher so it dries out before I tackle just tidying this up. And today I've been using my Cool Job Think Green gloves, touch green gloves, and I'll be using the thorn resistant ones to get those holly leaves. But let's clear this first and heap some of the soil up, get it out my feet. It's now 20 past 8. I see gasps for air, little and often. Let's do something else, let's not do it all in one go. So to get those holly leaves, I'm going to be using my Cool Job thorn resistant gloves. Check out the links in the description below. Cracking gloves, they last a long time. And of course, you never know what you might find. Wait, don't, mice don't go or rats don't go. It's supposed to be for hedgehogs, not rats. It's now 8:45. The tank off plot 3 will sit nicely on top of that log there, but as you can probably imagine, that hollowed out log is going to be too big. But what I'm thinking about doing is bring my chainsaw up, cut it in half, and then we can dig it in along this area. But as you can see, anything I found on this allotment stayed on the allotment unless it was plastic. And we used all these bits and bobs to create hybrid for the creatures. So hopefully I can get all this done so that some lovely creature can make use of it. All the holly leaves are going home in the municipal green bin. Somebody else can have the compost that's made out of that. I've got to just finish tidying this up, moving that as on when I have the energy. I'm hoping to collect another bag of leaves later on. I'll take the plastic bags home. We'll get the weeds and stuff that can go in the compost bin away. The material that I've took out in the wheelbarrow, that can go also in the green bin. So next 15 minutes I'm going to get tidied up. But it's surprising what you can do in a couple of hours. It's surprising what you can do in half an hour. So please, over the autumn winter months, get yourself out there. It's good for the body and mind. If you've liked the content, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction, and why not leave me a comment. And if you're mad enough, why not consider subscribing. See what else we get up to. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.